Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have
Cassandra playing Miku and Tempest, the Arctic Druid Air Genasi.
Eric playing Hrothgar Brittledorn, the Dragonborn Barbarian Gentleman.
Justin playing Guthrie, the half-elf bard gunslinger.
Christine playing Ruby, the halfling death cleric.
Hail and well met, my dudes. I'm William. I'm going to be playing Rovar, the purple Circle of the Spores druid.
Tracy playing Kat, the wood elf sorceress.
All right. It's the first time we made it all the way through.
Well
done.
Don't
It was
shade after
20s
last
for
time.
It was real early for me. I'm usually over there, so I was just like, I got time.
Because it took me like 3 times last time. I don't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't do it. I don't know why. We have art for everyone at this table right now.
We do.
Yeah.
That's right. That is art that will be going up on the website sooner, hopefully rather than later. But if you are on our Discord, if you're a subscriber, if you're a member of our Patreon at the $5 and up level, you can see all that wonderful art now done by some of our cast members and fans and friends and all that sort of stuff. We also have a very exciting announcement. If you're a Patreon, you get early access to our podcast. Episode 1 is up. Episode 0 and 1 is up. Where do they go to look for those things?
So right now it's currently up on, I have a list right here, on Castbox, on the Apple Podcast app, which if you have an iPhone, it comes automatically with your iPhone. You don't have to download or anything. We have it on Spotify and Stitcher, which I have learned today is for Android people. You can find it under Disasters and Danger. That's what the podcast is called. Disasters 'N Danger. The logo looks like a shield with a microphone, headphones, and flames in the back. We have episode 0, which is an introduction to kind of the world that we have, because we didn't start just at the beginning. We started kind of a long way into episodes that had been going on for a long time. And Cody can do more of that because he recorded a bunch of stuff for it over and over again because I made him do it because I'm a perfectionist. But now it's perfect. So, Cody, take it away.
So our podcast actually begins on episode 96 of The Stream. So if you went back in YouTube and you went digging through the archives, it would be episode 96, which is really when we kind of not just shifted focus, but we shifted format as far as how we told stories and things like that. And we got more focused. It was more focused and direct.
It's more of a linear storyline.
Yeah, which has been, I think, very beneficial to us as players and storytellers. And it's really started to go well for us. But yeah, I'm super excited. I listened to episode 0. It sounds fantastic.
Thank you. I would recommend listening to episode 0 because it'll catch you up on the world, everything that is important that has happened leading up to where we start with. It also has some character introductions by some of us, like me and Christine, who came before the episode that we started. So actually, Tracy and William over here, they start with our episode 1 of the podcast. So they are introducing themselves through the podcast. But for some of us that came before, we were introduced before you meet us. So we have a quick little blurb about who we are, who our characters are, and why they are with the team. So I would recommend listening to it. It'll catch you up on everything you need to know, all of the NPCs you need to know, all the PCs you need to know. So you go in knowing exactly what you want. Or, hey, you can live life on the wild side and just kind of maybe hope to get it. But we explain everything for you in episode 1 anyway, just in case.
Yeah, I recap things frequently. So I think you'll follow up.
But I spent a lot of time on it, so you should go listen to it. It's got music and stuff. It's really cool.
It is. Also, check out our friends over at Haunted Mountain. They got a bunch of dice and jewelry and dice trays. They're fantastic. We've got the friend links down below, but we also have our friends from Indigo Chameleon.
Hi guys, Indigo Chameleon. We do another sort of channel that's based out of here in Central Florida, and we have a lot of fun. We spent the day getting tech stuff, and just the day got away from us. So that's just sort of a common issue that I'm sure that you guys are used to. But yeah, we got lots of fun stuff. We actually have a show that's premiering this week on on Friday. On Tuesday, we have our home game, which is set in Wonderland. And there was sort of this big clamoring, but we got a full table, and we want to fit more people at the table, like you guys do. We kind of have revolving people, but we also have a lot of people that work for the theme parks and things of that sort. So we have another home game that's starting up on Friday. That we're continuing the trend. So we have Wonderland on Tuesday, and starting this Friday, we're going to Neverland. I'm very excited. We have an undead skeletal bard.
Nice.
We have a mermaid who doesn't really like people.
I like her already.
we have a lost boy who's going to start the game at age 30, and with every level up, de-age back to where he was when he left
Benjamin Button that shit.
Neverland. And we also have somebody that was on this show, Hillary, who's going to be playing a pixie and riding around on a hummingbird and fighting sort of the things that are in Neverland. So I'm really excited about it, really looking forward to it. We also have a brand new merch thing where we can have shirts and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're just very grateful that someone else is leading an adventure and we get to shut our brain down for a little bit and enjoy this amazing world that's in front here. And so when we looked at the podcast and we're like, oh, that's awesome. I wonder if we're going to be in any episodes. The very first episode, I was like, yes. So thank you. I will give you that $20 I owe you.
I see how it is. That's why you wanted to start with 20.
Hey man, it's a tough economy.
I got you.
You do what you gotta do. I want that extra guacamole.
Yeah, no shame. No shame.
But thank you for the spot at the table. We really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure to have you, as always. Power Team Trivia. You guys have a game tomorrow night?
No, not tomorrow night, but a week from tomorrow night at Mystic Dunes in Celebration from 7 to 9. And it's going to be, if you've seen Nick, my husband, who plays sometimes, his birthday is coming up, so it's going to be Nick themed. We're going to do Nick's favorite Broadway show tunes and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Broadway show tunes.
Awesome.
Well,
And I'm allowed to talk about the theme for once. So it's exciting.
Well, there you go. Let's get into it, shall we?
Okay.
Our adventure takes place in and around the continent of Rodom, which is dominated by the Albrechtian Empire. Our heroes are revolutionaries who have discovered that Don Dorian of the Black Gem, leader of the Rockhawk Legion, the bringer of law and queller of chaos, has been replaced by a cabal of doppelgangers, aligned with a divine entity known as the Lunacy. It is an entity of madness and imbalance. To set this right, they have hunted down a number of heroes of old, known as Hal's Victors, with but one living piece missing, Hallian Loethel, the last Lunarchist, who has now been imprisoned within the Empire's flying fortress known as Dreadhold. It is a place from which no living thing escapes. It is a place from which no dead thing escapes. It is the end. Our heroes have, en masse, made their way to the first tower of Dreadhold, where the political prisoners and least dangerous of its occupants reside. They have met Ritkin, the Minotaur who ruled this political shanty town, and they have seen a devilish black knight who has brought not just the tower's food for the day, but also attempted to abscond with some of its inhabitants. He wears the key, the rune key, that would allow them to travel from the first tower to the second, where things that are undead or fiendish, bound prisoners are kept. Beyond that, they don't know what dangers await, but they shall have to try to face them together. Some of you have been away for a minute, and before I lock you in a prison from which there is no escape, is there anything you would like to do and or buy before you go?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to purchase, because the last time we were here was the 17th of Shadowrun.
Okay.
So, and I think that's the adventure where we were almost at the wheel, like we had just gotten to the wheel.
Right. Yeah.
Which was inescapable.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to challenge you. It was just a funny joke. Please don't.
Roll.
We have a knack. We have a knack.
3d6. Another 3d6.
5 more times. There we go.
It's the price of being funny.
Does a 40 hit?
So, yes. What day, Ruby and or Rothgar, what day did you guys actually get to the tower?
We got there
That's the
on
ending date
the.
of our last adventure. We should be in Traveler.
First to fell, right?
Oh no, we're way past Phil.
I know the last adventure ended the
25th.
Yeah.
25th of Traveler. Great. So 17th of Shadowrun goes to the 17th of Fate. That's 1 month.
Okay.
Goes to the 17th of Dawn, the new year. Congratulations. Happy New Year. It's spring also. And then 17th of Traveler. So 3 months and a week. Although I'm just going to say 3 months because that week is spent on the boats and collecting. In cages. You're busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, during that time, you guys are in Arardico. You've been traveling around doing the fleet has been traveling around. So you do have opportunities to purchase anything that you needed before you went in. What would you like to do at that time? And Guthrie, when was our last time we saw you?
Well, the last time you saw me was in the Halcyon days of, I believe, the 14th of Fel. So it's been about 4 months for me.
So another month for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So what do you guys want to do at that time?
I'm spending some of that time learning a new language.
Perfect.
Simply because, Guthrie has to keep himself occupied.
Yeah.
So
that is the Luckstone Language Society. That's what they do.
Yeah. Yep. I think I'm going to go with Abyssal.
Abyssal.
Yeah.
Good language.
May as well.
Yeah.
It's a good one to have in your back
It's
pocket.
harsh.
Everyone. Oh yeah. It's pretty grating. I feel like Guthrie tries to teach himself songs to learn some of the grammar and kind of the formatting of it.
Mm-hmm.
It pairs nicely with the Cittern that he has of just trying to remember.
I'm sure Abyssal is just dubstep.
Pretty much is. It pretty much is. It's
but not
writing that quote down.
But not Abyssal songs are just dubstep, but not with like the digital instruments.
No,
that's just the words.
Yeah,
the words.
It's like acapella dubstep is what it is.
It's like from Men in Black when Will Smith is talking to a guy. Yep.
Yeah, it's Bismarcky. It's
I do that on set.
It's a lot of beatboxing.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it sounds like It sounds like beatboxing when you have like a mouthful of hot food and you're trying to like blow around it. That's pretty much what Abyssal is.
Big pizza in the oven, they're too hot. Eat them. What are they called?
Yeah, it burns.
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. Yeah, it's like beatboxing around a mouthful of fresh pizza rolls.
And that's what Abyssal is.
That's what Abyssal is. So that's 9 weeks of my 4-month journey.
So then you have 6 weeks left.
Yes, I do. I don't know. Guthrie is.
While you think about it, Let me switch channels over here.
Absolutely.
You had some things you wanted to buy.
I just wanted to buy the gem encrusted bowl.
Okay.
For a material component.
How many did you want?
2.
Okay. Yeah. Two's doable.
Two's doable.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely doable. Do you have the gold for that, or are you guys going to attempt to utilize your Sathrian blood coins?
Oh, that's right. We do have those.
I would use the, because I donated a lot of mine to charity.
Yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely.
So I would.
Yeah. How much do the bowls cost?
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold for 2 of them. So you got 8,000 left on that blood coin.
Okay.
So if there's anything else the 3 of you would like to purchase before going.
Well, okay, so I was working. This is not going to help us in this
Sure.
location, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I've been working very hard
You
on
have
it.
been.
I had one success on my land yacht that I was
Okay.
building.
The land
Yeah.
yacht.
My folding
Right.
boat
It's
that
folding boat,
travels
yeah.
on land now.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping in that amount of time I could have had,
You can attempt once per week. Absolutely.
once per week. Okay,
Yep.
so I just need to roll a d20 on that.
Yeah. D20,
right.
intelligence based. Are you proficient in tinkering or any sort of craftsman tools?
No.
So just an intelligence-based check.
Oh, and I have a +0 into intelligence. So what do I need to get for it to be a success?
I'm going to roll 2d10 plus 5. We'll do it like a normal downtime
I'm
challenge.
working super hard on this.
So this one's easy. 8.
Ooh, all right.
Roll low.
Well, the first one's a 4.
Okay. So
Second one's a 6.
second one, you did a 15.
13.
You're doing great, sweetie.
7
Working
plus
really hard on this boat.
7 plus 5, 12.
Man,
Hey.
success.
We're
Got
gonna
two
put your picture of
successes.
the link right on the
16.
Oh, 8 plus 9, 17 plus 5.
Oh.
That's a good one.
4. How many am I at? That's 5.
And then you roll
Guys, one of these
5
days,
or
this is
6.
gonna come in. It's gonna save all of our asses.
This is
and then we'll be
100%. This is,
I know.
this is an end
13.
game. This
I'll give
is
you
a way to
13.
save us from
Okay.
something.
All right. And then the other thing, which I really should have talked to you beforehand,
Okay.
but I don't have that many weeks left, so
That's
I'm not
fine.
sure. Okay, so I designed something
Oh boy.
based on a bag of holding
Okay.
because I got that beautiful little dress from Madeline that
Uh-huh.
looks exactly like my other dress now.
Uh-huh.
So in my mind,
Uh-huh.
if you were to take a bag of holding, which is this large,
Yeah.
and divide it into 8 components, you could create a pocket of holding that would have 1/8 the stats of a bag of holding. Everything would be divided by 8.
Before you keep going, why don't you look up the handy haversack?
Handy haversack, I will.
It's
It's
pretty
a pocket of holding.
No, it's a backpack with 8 pockets. It's like pockets of holding around in the back.
Oh, in the bag. I
Yeah.
wanted to stick a pocket on the front of my dress. Not
Well,
that's
it,
okay.
we could.
Handy haversack.
Modified to make it a
What-
fanny pack.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, the
the
fanny
fanny
pack of
haversack.
holding.
The handy haversack has some of the smaller pockets that we could discuss for volume and size
Got it. Because I didn't
Okay.
need very much space. I just wanted to stick my collapsible boat in my pocket
in your pocket.
so that I could pull it out.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Roll me a percentile on that.
I want a fanny pack of holding now. Like, I really want this to
Husband, my
be.
dress would have pockets.
Yeah, there you go.
Really
It has
useful.
pockets. Thanks.
The
It has
most
pockets.
useful of pockets.
Yeah.
That's a 67.
Mm. You got started on it.
There we go.
You haven't made it.
All right,
Okay,
but I have a dream.
you do, and it is an attainable dream.
There you go. That's the
and
best kind.
I built a land yacht out of
Ex-
out of a folding boat, so I can.
She can do this.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to?
I
look
continue
for
working
or
for the temple, like
Got it.
maintaining the grounds and the different areas. And
Yeah, you guys are away from that particular temple, but good news, Arartico is the city of temples. So
Boom.
you've
Oh
got,
boy.
you've got so many temples and so little time.
we're up to here with
We are, yeah.
Up
we are-
Temples on
After
temples
eyeballs,
on
yeah.
temples.
Yep.
That's actually the next arc is temples on
Temples
temples.
on temples on
temples all the way down.
Guthrie?
Yeah.
The end of your time, what do you got?
Really, I think if I can find what I would like before heading into this or whatever the reverse of an impregnable prison is,
Mm.
or a
Pregnant.
pregnable
Pregnable prison?
a pregnable prison, sure.
Where are you going with this?
Before we head into this Dreadhold, I would
that's
very
good.
much like to find something that can maybe bump up my AC like a point. I'm not asking for like.
If I'm not mistaken, we have a couple of iron stones of protection, don't we? Or
Check the bag.
Yeah, because like I
wanna say-
would feel more comfortable if I were sitting at an 18.
What sort of armor are you looking for? What sort of
Really,
armor do you
I'm
wear?
leaning more towards I'm proficient with light armor, and I already have I have the nice +1 elven chainmail shirt, and that's doing wonders for me.
I'm AC of 12.
But
We should look at that back.
yeah,
You're squishy but strong.
yeah. I just know Guthrie. I just know that in my time with Guthrie, hell, his first time out, he almost died, and that was when his AC was still 16, and that wasn't doing him too much good. And I just want to. I have
We
some
have an
protection.
unclaimed iron stone of protection.
I will claim. Actually, I would now. I would feel better if she took it. Now I feel
No,
bad.
I could have bought some armor because I could have bought some armor.
You're
during
a
this time. Go ahead,
sorcerer.
keep going.
You're a
No, I
sorcerer.
can't. I'm a
You
sorcerer.
would not-
Darn
I
it,
think you
that's
should
why
take this
I have
iron
armor.
stone of
Can't you
protection.
cast mage armor?
Yeah.
If she
If
knows
she
it.
knows,
Does
her.
she know it?
Do you know mage armor?
I don't.
So she can't wear armor at all?
There's a sorcerer.
What if I just coated you in bark?
Bracers of protection.
Bracers of protection, rings protection, cloak protection. But
Iron
even
stone
but those
stuff.
don't
Iron
won't necessarily stack.
Iron
Iron stone of protection.
What?
Other spells, bark skin
Yeah, my
is-
Citern.
is one.
My Citern knows bark skin, so I can do that for her as
I
well.
have bark skin and stone skin.
It lasts for an hour at a time.
Yep.
Rogar would
Yeah.
have spent some time with you and realized that you probably need this more than he does. So put a cloak of protection on, and I will unattune it. And we'll just say over that time, you have a cloak of protection.
That sounds good.
There we go. That's nice. That's a nice thing.
Rovar's the
But
fucking
you're
best.
only 14.
Yeah.
Yes, but I have
14 and 12 are
mushrooms, so
not.
You got
It's
shrooms.
okay. It's
And
okay, 'cause
you can wear armor.
I can,
Yeah.
I can wear armor.
So
You're taking it?
what I will let you guys know. Yeah, let's decide what's the fate of this Ioun stone.
I mean, if no one else is taking it, I will latch that onto myself just to bump me up a little bit. So yeah,
Okay.
I will add that to the list.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.
So things that you guys have access to before you go. I've got a +1 chain shirt, +1 studded leather, +2 half plate. I don't think you can afford that.
Sure can't.
Forget I said that. +3 shield again. Don't think you can afford it. Adamantine breastplate, adamantine chain shirt, adamantine chain shirt, adamantine half plate, adamantine splint. Can't afford that.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Armor,
You could try Sears.
chain shirt of cold resistance,
Big mistake.
ring mail of cold resistance, mithril chainmail.
Ooh.
And that's it.
Can we talk about how much is that +1 studded leather?
Yeah, +1 studded leather is considered rare. Go ahead and roll me 2d10. If I'm not mistaken.
6 and a 5.
Okay, so that would be 11,000, but the Sathrian blood coins are about 10,000 apiece. You've spent 2,000 off of one. For a second coin, you would have 6,000 left.
It's just
over.
like group coins that people have.
Yeah.
Or like I don't want to like
It's
dive into the.
you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have like
That's
over
studded leather armor?
16,000
Yes.
just in gold pieces.
The group has money.
Okay.
You may not always be able to find places to spend it,
Okay.
but yeah, that's something you can afford.
Okay. I will take that +1. studded leather.
Yep. Any other interest in those things?
We're not there, so
You would have been at some point prior
If
to.
anybody can wear.
You guys
that.
had never actually asked before you went to. You're like, we're going to Dreadhold. Nobody was like, we should shop before we went to Dreadhold.
There was
Look,
a
we
big
spent so
shopping
much
montage
time.
like
There
2 weeks
were a whole
ago.
lot
Yeah.
of
There
rogues.
was. There
We
was.
had our
You guys
shopping
have done a lot of shopping montages. I'm not saying we do a full one. I am just saying if there was something that you were like, oh my god, I wish I had known, I would have killed for that.
yeah, you guys missed it. Rothgar and Miku are now decked out in like Arabic looking cool
Oh,
clothes.
no, mine's ruined.
What happened?
That month.
You spent a
escaping
month in the
s-
wilds.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
it's
thought-
You
ruined.
still have the fancy pajamas.
I
Wait, can I
do
mend
still
it
have the
for
fan. You can try, but so far he hasn't like.
Can I mend it for you? I can mend.
It's
I need to mend his clothes.
mend is
I was
like
really
a 1
excited
foot
about
by
this.
1 foot square, if I'm not mistaken.
I've got time, don't I?
Okay, yeah.
One square foot at a time.
Can I mend his clothes? This really bothers me. I really liked his clothes.
So did I.
We bonded over this these clothes.
I'm gonna really
And that was 11, so it was 3,000. So
I'm mending his clothes.
Heather's going to have to become responsible enough to get Nate Jarman the next time she levels up. She's just not that responsible.
Okay.
But like,
Yeah, I'm
did I mend his clothes?
But the most
Very- it's
important
very important.
question.
They're
It's very
too.
important.
They're too damaged.
No, I'm the fancy one.
you are the fancy one right now.
Now I feel like it's going to become a point that my clothes are going to get ruined.
Nothing important on weapons or trade goods. You guys feel pretty
No.
good about that.
I got most of my magics. And I still got about 20 plus what are they? Plus 1 or plus 2
That must be
bullets.
5.
I still got some special bullets I can hit ghosts if I need to. So
Okay.
them ghosts look at me weird. I'm gonna start pulling a full lead. take
Sounds
a
good.
little by surprise.
Yeah, I'm going to, since diplomacy, is Shiloh back awake?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hand diplomacy over to Shiloh to have him
Remake.
look at it, remake a packet,
Got it.
and I'm going to take the Morning Star out of here
Okay.
that I had put back in.
Okay. All right, guys.
Do I have any time at all?
A few days.
Can I practice with my blowgun?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to get good at it.
You may need to take another class that will give you proficiency in it.
Okay.
So there you go. Or a feat. There are.
Yeah.
There's a feat that can give you proficiency.
All right.
So you guys are in the first tower. Those of you that had been teleported in, the cages that you were kept in have a repressive magic ability that had disoriented you guys through the initial use of teleportation circle. You do wake up within a few hours, and you have been filled in on the events of the day. As you guys are making your way up into the shanty town, the feeding frenzy has died down. You can see that this tower is mostly empty, perfectly circular. You can see that there are some high windows that have looks like force walls, sort of keeping the rain out. There are rain collection sort of troughs that you guys are currently flying through what is known as the Kyranos' Fury, which is a swirling storm, a maelstrom, an eternal hurricane in the middle of the sea that the fortress sort of passes through. Fresh water is collected through there and filtered down. It is a cleverly designed place. All along the walls of this massive circle, you can see the apartments, very much a Brazilian barrio style shacks stacked up, things built with just errant materials, sticks, boards, things like that, cloths and old clothes. As you guys are coming up, those of you, everybody make me a perception check.
25.
6.
17.
12.
28.
Okay. Everybody with a 15 and above, you guys notice something a bit odd. Ipkin, who had grabbed Millie and the other injured kin folk.
Lipkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Itkin, Lipkin, Ritkin. I had two more.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter now. You can see that they are sort of gathered around on their own. They have like a table. But the injured bodies, and Millie it should be noted, she got smited pretty hard. You would not have expected her to survive that. But you can slowly see the broken and twisted bodies of these dead, potentially dead prisoners knitting themselves back together. The slight sounds of flesh and bone twisting and cracking, popping, is at first you could have mistaken for crunching bread or something like that, but once people have stopped eating and the feast is over, the noise persists.
It's not something they're doing. It's something that's happening to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I noticed this, but
So they can't die?
You are unsure.
Is there a way to keep people from killing themselves in the prison to escape?
You can
An
check
easy
out
out.
anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Oh, this is Hotel California.
There it is. Well, that's damn eerie.
I just think someone's crunching their bread really loudly.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm just like, who keeps eating?
So you notice this-
We would explain. We would show you.
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
I'm gonna go up to Ridkin.
Mm-hmm.
Ridkin,
Yes.
are you feeling better?
I mean, yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
All right. What's happening with everybody here?
I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean?
Okay, I'm pretty sure like at least 3 of you were dead.
Oh,
That.
yeah. No, you're not allowed to die.
This is good.
Oh, well, yeah.
This is
question
terrible.
about
Sorry,
that.
Ruby.
Yeah, I can see how it'd be bad. Now, does the whole, let's call it limited immortality, does that affect everyone within the bounds of the Dreadhold, or specifically them who are imprisoned, like prisoners of Dreadhold?
Well, I don't get out much. It's been a while.
I could see that.
From what people said when I was here, even the guards were trapped.
Okay.
You're not allowed to leave or die, and if you die, it's because they wanted you to, and if you die, well, you're still bound here.
Yeah.
That's what the ghosts like to drag people off to be bound servants in the next tower. So
Sure.
those of us that are happy being
Living as a servant.
Fleshy.
Unbound. Yeah.
we prefer to hide.
Yeah, I understand that quite well. Yeah.
Ruby, can you talk to Ouija's?
Yeah, I can try.
Do you think if she found out what was going on here with the whole life and death thing, she would be angry maybe and want to have a hand in it?
Should be really mad.
She could
That's a
spike
good
a whole
idea.
tower, maybe.
I'm just saying, perhaps if she was angry enough, she may be inclined to interfere, or at least send some extra help for us to right this wrong with the balance of life and death.
Yeah,
Just an option.
Yeah, it kind of spits in the face of our whole deal.
Yeah. Could I try to cast divine intervention or use divine
Sure.
intervention?
Yeah,
Okay.
you absolutely can.
I've never done it before.
I know.
I'm excited.
You roll a percentile,
Okay.
and you must roll under your level. So under.
Under 11.
Okay, this is gonna go well.
9, 8.
Yes.
Lucky number 7. Lucky number 7.
Oh my god!
Did it!
Oh my! Don't.
What?
The
It's a
first.
5.
Oh, God.
Oh my god!
Literally.
Her god.
Literally,
That's technically her god.
Oh my god.
Goddess.
Okay.
Ken's like, well, shit.
Ruby and we just were close. We knew this.
Yeah, we're besties.
It
Would you like
worked.
to read from? Do you have the player's handbook?
Yeah.
Would you like to read us all what that does?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
This is.
I think it's under cleric, not
nuts.
spells, right?
Yeah,
It is an
nuts.
ability. It is not a spell.
This is so crazy.
Okay.
I was about to say,
Beginning
what are
at
the
10th
chances?
level, you can
but then
call
I'm
on
like,
your deity to intervene on your behalf when your need is great. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action. Describe the assistance you seek and roll percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or cleric domain spell would be appropriate. If your deity intervenes, you can't use this feature again for 7 days.
I mean, that feels fair.
Otherwise, you can use it again after you finish it.
Could you unlock the door?
So yeah, let's. What do we want to ask?
What do you
No,
ask?
we here.
No,
No, yeah, no.
Ruby.
Joss.
Ruby?
Probably what she would like the most is that we make it where death can still happen here. Is that possible?
Okay.
I feel like it just
That's
turned
what
into that
she
meme
would like,
of
I think.
Okay.
Chrissy Teigen where she's like, Maybe she could send assistance or give you some sort of.
No help from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, it's all up now. Yeah, we can. That's a
Would you?
I don't know how these gods
would
work,
you,
so.
in character,
Yes.
please tell us your prayer to Weejas?
Oh, great and beautiful, Weejas. This place is a horrible abomination against your law. Please, please make it where people can die here and their souls can go to you.
Oh,
This is so good. This is
Okay.
Oh, well, I don't think it'll nullify that. Oh, but I can't.
Just maybe throw it in business.
Okay.
the second tower gets real quiet.
We did it! Thanks, guys. This is it.
Hey, thanks so much for doing
yeah, everybody drops.
I didn't see where people have to, just where they can die.
I've had this look. Every time you go, hey, can I do this? Like, this is the look that I get on my face. I've never been on the other side.
And by you mean just some random person, not specifically.
It's usually you because you'll be flipping through the player's handbook and you'll go,
You get the look of.
Okay.
I feel like shit. What's she about to do?
Well, spell. So the limits of the cleric spells do not cover this purview. But here is what I will do. Roll me another percentile, please.
Okay. That one was good, so I'll stick with it.
Sure.
68.
Okay.
Oh, so close.
kind of nice.
You feel. You won't feel something truly unsettling for a moment. There is a lurch to Dreadhold as the whole thing sort of twists to one side. I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Which I
Ruby,
have
you're
done.
fine.
Okay.
23.
22.
No, yeah, 23.
9.
That would be a 19.
Anything above a 14 or above, you are standing up.
Sweet.
Below that, you just go prone, and you slide a little bit,
Okay.
and then it sort of levels out. Yeah, we'll do the R2 slide down the. While this is happening, you guys see a great grand gate tear through reality, first in this crimson red sort of slow drip of blood that kind of breaks through the air, through the bounds, and you can see all of the runic magic that is along the door begins to shift from what had been a mana-born ethereal blue, and it begins to sort of turn purple as this corrupting red blood begins to drip onto the floor and spread out. And then as it hits the ground, it begins very much like a tent, like the zipper on a tent from that apex begins to sort of curve back down and around, creating this odd rainbow-like thing. The light, very little that is coming in from the outside that had been from flashes of lightning and the constant howl of the storm, noises that had been ever present in your time here have now become quite distant. The flap of this reality tent begins to fold down and crumble. Everyone make perception checks for me.
Cody,
Yes.
that was metal as fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna add that as the opener to our death metal concert that I've been keeping track
You
of.
got it.
What were we
13.
rolling for?
Perception.
Perception, please.
13.
23.
13.
Not 20.
25.
Okay. Anybody with a 10 or below?
No.
Okay, great. It's not hard. For those of you above 20, you'll see some finer details. Anything from 10 to 20, you get the boldness of it. There is a very stately woman dressed in blacks. Her crimson red hair pulled up into a folded updo with these sort of chopstick needles that are fanned out from within them. She looks probably in her 40s, but still quite refined. The softness of the silks that cover her are ever present. And those of you with 20 and above can see that there is a emblem on her neck. It is similar in some ways to the one that Ruby wears, but it is fairly distinct in and of itself. For those of you that do not know what Rejustice symbol looks like.
Ooh.
Well,
That's
yeah,
distinct.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I would recognize that.
That was my high school symbol. So,
Yeah.
Siemens now.
So that's gonna be the emblem of our metal concert.
Yes.
It is not one that is known within Rotom. She seems quite distant still, and yet she reaches out her hand, and crawling along the floor through the cracks and crevices of the masonry is that small drop of magical blood, and out of it forms this ever so genteel hand that reaches up and sort of touches Ruby on the nose.
Oh, she got booped by a god.
She got a boop on the side.
She got a big poop on the snoot.
She got booped by a
Why does
god.
shit keep happening to me? I should never have left that circus. Goddamn.
And then it all begins to spread just a little bit from here. You can see it trace up Ruby's nose to her crown and begins to sort of pattern out in that hair woven way, sort of like a henna kind of tattoo across her face. And you guys hear something. You hear a crack, thunderous burst of a whip that snaps through all of you. I'd like you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Do I need to?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
22.
13.
5.
15.
16.
22.
Yeah, Druids. I just need like, oh, you need a 27.
You need a 24.
Oh shit!
Are you?
Anybody make a 24?
We had 22.
I had 22.
I heard 22s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one.
So no one. Those of you that failed, everybody, you are stunned
Mm-hmm.
and you are frightened.
Okay.
I have
As
advantage on saves first.
Wait, I can't be. What is it? The frightened us? Because I can't be frightened.
Oh, wait, hang on. No, I'm still.
Okay.
I will say this supersedes whatever ability
Okay.
is preventing you from being frightened.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Frightened creatures have disadvantage on ability checks, attack rolls from the source of the fears within sight.
Okay.
And the source of the fear comes very suddenly through the window of that the force wall had been through. The crack of the thunder happened almost simultaneously as the snap of a whip. You see standing before you in giant size, two radiant beings, one a swirling mass of struck lightning and roiling clouds. His beard is the billows of thunder that roll out before a storm. And he has his hand on the shoulder of a very gaunt, immaculately dressed figure in black. I don't know that any of you have seen him before, although we have had an encounter with him. That is Riberos, the deity of death.
God. You guys. It did work in that temple.
You would recognize him. You would
Yeah, we spent a
absolutely
lot of time in
recognize
Riberos'
him.
temple.
I'm just really jealous of the suit.
It is a tremendous suit.
Very jealous. Terrifyingly jealous.
And
But also just terrified.
when you can see two things. Make religion checks.
11.
19.
6.
18.
It's like
I'm
my
going to use one
fourth
of my
17.
advantages
Go for it.
studying.
That one.
Okay.
You're just like, oh,
It's
I
pretty,
won.
but scary.
20.
Okay. Those of you with the 19s and the 20s, you guys know a few things. One, it is known as Kyranos' Fury for a reason. It is in the religion. Yeah, this is Kyranos, the Lord of Storms.
Oh,
Cool.
a
He
couple of guys just showing up out of nowhere. This is fun. This is right. This is
Call for
normal.
1, 3 show up. It's a
it
deal at this
is in the Pantheon's deal as they divvied up land and sea. Kyranos was allotted a portion of his mother's domain, a portion of Sathsa's ocean, upon which for him to play. And that any who entered his storm were at his mercy. And so to invite a heretical deity into his domain has angered him greatly.
Oh, shit.
And Riberos is the deity of death here, not Ouijas.
Not yet.
The crack of the whip that accompanied the lightning shatters like glass the gateway from which Ouijas had reached through. It falls like pixie stardust onto the ground and is very clearly blown away. But the runes that had been ethereal and blue are now a much deeper maroon, closer to red than they are to light blue. And Ruby, you can feel within you that part of that effect has taken place. Death has returned in at least a small way to the Dreadhold. However, those souls are not bound for Ouijas. They have been claimed by Riberos. And it is that scar of where his whip cracked what would now just look like sky or just empty air. It is this 2-inch black mark that, no matter from which side you look at it, looks very thin, very two-dimensional, and yet very real. By the time you can shake off the fear, the deities have returned from whence they came. The force wall that was holding out the rain is shattered. And so the storm begins to pour in. There are cries from a number of the shantytown residents. Ritkin begins climbing up to try to like throw some curtains over what is essentially a giant's gateway. I mean, it's a 10-foot door for him. He can kind of saunter through it, but it's about 30 feet up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably just a little above, well, 20 feet up. So about head height for a giant. So he's climbing up there and he's trying to put curtains over there and he's looking around. You guys look over to the bodies of Millie and the others, and they have begun to rapidly decay.
So that went well.
Did you guys see her?
Yes, we did.
Among other things, yeah, we
She was amazing.
she was. I mean, awe-inspiring is the word for it.
I know.
You can see that there are a number of those shantytown residents who are decaying.
Death is back.
What is the reaction of the heat? Like, is this like sweet release, or are people starting to panic?
It's a mixture. It's definitely a mixture of both. You can see a couple of people so Ritkin's the only one of his kin that is alive. All of his buddies are dead and gone. He's trying to cover up the storm hole, and a couple of those other people are like running to jump out of it as they see just some form of
Freedom.
Release.
of escape.
Yeah.
If you guys wait 20 seconds, you'll see one sort of leap out. And as he does, there is you're not sure if it's like a telekinetic force or if it's a storm-born, like gale force wind, but he's thrown back into the tower. And when there's a sickening thud, as about 300 feet away, he crushes into the door, the ruined oak door. And you can just hear the squish and splat of his bones crumpling. And then he begins to slowly decay. He's just dead.
Mhm.
He hadn't been dead before, so he
Right,
doesn't,
so he's
Right.
he's not.
he doesn't
He doesn't have to catch up.
go to
Yeah.
he's not making up for lost dead time like some of these guys.
Uh-huh.
So this is good.
Good.
But also, I want to say there is a slight upside that is devastating for these people. And I do mean devastating. But all of these people were political prisoners being kept alive. They weren't dangerous in any way, which means their stations were quite important, which means there's a good chance they were doppelgangers, and they needed them alive. They're not alive anymore. Those doppelgangers cannot hold those stations. They'll be found out. This is good for death, bad for them because they didn't, it's just what it is. But also on a whole, this could have decent ramifications in a political sense.
Okay.
That's a good point. Well said, Rothka.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we did good? Yes?
Yeah, we did great.
You
Did you
and-
guys see it?
You got to with
We did.
Ouijas.
That was
Thanks,
awe-inspiring.
You can see the rest of the victors, and while they are slightly higher level than you, the magic cages they had spent most of their magic getting you guys into here. Has not been a new day. They've come up with the rest of you. It's
Good.
still the same day that you guys fought
Oh, yeah.
Ritkin. So do not recoup your
HP
spells
or
or hit
anything.
points
Yeah.
yet.
Did we hear anything from the second tower full of dead?
So the second tower is far enough away, and there's a storm in between there. You cannot hear it in any capacity, but Animus will sort of look around and go, I suspect that will not go unnoticed.
Yeah, do we
And I also suspect more than just the second tower may be coming to research what just happened.
do we want to try that door now that the runes on it have changed a bit? If anyone, I don't know if anyone knows. I don't know much about runes per se, but
I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on everyone.
Okay.
Oh, love that.
Are the
Thank
rooms
you.
themselves different, or is it just the color?
The coloring.
The
of them,
coloring.
Yeah. they look
Okay.
different.
A few of them have changed. I'll take Arcana checks from everybody.
22.
Oh,
9.
16.
Okay.
Okay.
8.
19.
16.
Okay. 19, 16, 22. Those numbers up there. You guys can tell the warding nature as far as allowing entrance or passage is still there.
Okay.
But the other effects as far as like death, the regeneration, those sorts of things are broken.
Okay. So, good news, bad news. Ruby's big ask of her god, worked. Yay us. As Animus just pointed out, we probably don't have long before somebody comes through that door and sees what the hell just happened. So I think we should probably start girding ourselves and prepare ourselves for what or who might come at us now.
So they're going to come through the door, or should we go through the door?
Well, I don't know if we can go through the door. The wards, the whole key. We still need a key to get through the doors.
Oh, that's right.
We just now the dead can die is the big change with the door rooms.
So we're going to ambush whoever comes through?
Wouldn't now be the time to fight, to encourage them to fight? Now that the stakes are so high, I mean, your choices are like fight and possibly get out and exact revenge, or
This
like
does
get
sound
release, rather than trying to jump out into the abyss.
So we need to inspire the people to fight?
Make I'm actually not going to have you make checks. You don't need to. You've been here long enough. You can. So there are a few things you realize. Rickon and his kin, the weapons they wielded were prison weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
You guys have not had your weapons taken.
We still have it.
You still have them. What you can surmise from this is that this is a place of non-dangerous people. People that come through here with weapons can't kill these weaklings. They usually get shifted to the higher, more dangerous towers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They get dragged away for whatever purposes. These people aren't really fighters.
Well,
And you're welcome to attempt to inspire them, but you will not, other than Rickon, you won't get much help.
Yeah, I think most of them.
I mean, they will.
Shields.
Yeah, I mean, they can happily join in if you want them to.
I also
But-
don't really have any spare weapons to start handing out to these people. So
Well, maybe if someone is inspirational enough to give good speech.
Did they see me, Joss?
Oh no, most of them had hidden, and then when the tower started turning, yeah, these people hide a lot. They don't come out much. They don't have. It's still a prison.
does
May not
Ruby,
have bars, but it's still a prison.
does Ruby look different to us?
You can see the sort of shadowed henna design on her forehead.
Is it
Cool.
the red color?
No, it has turned more of a brown, more of a rusted brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to at least give the old college a try?
You could try singing to them.
I mean, I could
Or Rothgar,
See
you
if I
could
could-
give big speech.
go to a spot.
These aren't bad people, right?
Well-
They were put here, but it wasn't fair.
Probably, I think it's fair to say they were probably taken in. Like as Rothgar pointed out, there's a very high chance that these people were picked for their positions and power and replaced.
And if they die, they die.
Yeah,
And they're not good fighters.
not except for Ritkin.
So
No,
who are we to ask them to get in the way and die for us?
It's unfortunately kind of how I feel about it. I know I feel good. I mean, obviously asking Ritkin to join in because he can handle himself, but I don't know these various lords and ladies. I mean, unless they got something up their sleeve they ain't shown off yet, which I feel like they would have had the opportunity to do that by now.
So we are at an advantage. We are at an advantage that they know that something happened. and whoever they send to investigate and sort of look into, there's the possibility that they may think that they're still invulnerable or have access to this.
It's true.
So we could lie in wait. I mean, we could set up for when the initial investigative group comes in.
Do we want to do get help?
I agree with you. I think an ambush would be very intelligent. I think asking these people to fight might be a fool's errand just for their, and suffice it to say, I don't mean it in a bad way, their usefulness on a battlefield.
Sure.
But we have a long way to go. We're going to need a place for respite. This might be that place.
Yeah, I think if we can show them at the very least that their captors, at least the captors they've seen, can at least be wounded, if not outright taken care of, they would at least let us shack up here when and if we need to.
I think Ridkin might be able to be persuaded of that.
Yeah.
I can protect us. I mean, if something came to attack us, I can protect us. I can make a bubble.
I could set up snares by the door to make them flip upside down.
Yeah, I got
That would be good.
A couple tricks up my sleeve too. Yeah, I mean, I think. Do we want to just?
Are you well enough? Are you after all the fighting that you've done earlier?
I only got mildly hurt, 40 HP. I'll be fine.
I'm not going to help with that if you need to.
I have a couple of potions
All
I'll
right.
take.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Are your spell slots?
I'm okay.
There's no way of knowing how long it would take to have these
Before
before people start coming in.
Nope.
I'm, if I can, going to speak with Ritkin.
Yeah.
I will
Absolutely.
stand watch then, because one of us should keep an eye out.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, do you want me to set up snares by the door? Are we ambushing them?
Yeah, I'm going to say probably snares by the door because I very much doubt anyone coming through those doors is going to be coming in to help us.
Okay.
So I think setting up a snare is a good at the very least something that could trip them up and give us half a second to react.
How wide is the door?
40 feet across.
Well, we know where the opening that the Black Knight came through.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a 40-foot opening that he came through, was it?
The full doors are 40 feet.
Yeah, but
He just came through the middle of it.
okay.
Yeah.
He just came right through the center.
Yeah. So
It's made for giants. Do
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So should I set one up right in the front where one person would come through?
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
just to give them a second's pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set up a snare right there while you guys are doing your thing because it takes a minute to set up. So.
I'll back you up.
I forgot my bubble doesn't last very long. It's really strong. It's
Ritkin.
Yeah.
So you saw everything that just went on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. I saw everything.
Yeah.
I saw so. I never. I mean.
Ritkin, I need you to calm down.
Okay.
Here's what's about to happen.
Okay.
We're about to have some fairly nasty people come to see this.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So what I need you to do is a twofold situation.
Okay.
I need you to protect your people.
Uh-huh.
I need you to get them hidden and safe.
Okay.
I need you to hide these people. And I just motion towards the rest of everybody.
Yeah.
They need to rest up. They need a place to get better. And in fact, later on, I'm going to need a place to get better. And I need your help providing that.
Okay. You can see part of the victors and the rest of your team are. I think they have the right idea. There's the where you guys came in underground. Not many people go down there. It's that's a place to start.
All right. That being said, I need your word, Ritkin, that none of your people, upon being questioned, are going to point in that direction.
No. We'll hide out. They don't really talk to us much anyway.
I know, but you can't use this to leverage. You can't use this information in any way.
I'm thinking
I look him-
leverage is that's a bit more than I've got clout for. You can make an insight check.
I mean, 14.
14.
Yeah.
he's freaked out.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like he's seen a lot of stuff. Like he's the Devil Knight, the
Oh, yeah.
ghosts, and like he's been here for a while.
Mhm.
He's seen all sorts of things. This has even messed with him.
I kind of pull his focus and it's like, Ritkin,
Yes.
what were you before you came here?
Was he goes rumbling through a number of things, but what it sums up as is that he was a high-ranking commander in the Navy.
I understand this has been a lot. I need you to pull every bit of fiber you have and pull your shit together. Good. And I'll walk away.
All right.
Now, the general population here, we look very different from them, right? They're kind of scruffy and like
Yeah.
ragged.
I mean, well, you're
and-
kind of ragged anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
But
you fit
the rest-
in.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Actually, that works out really well. Okay.
these guys, you can tell that these guys are everybody that's here was a civilian, whether they had money or not. Most of the wealth of that, their clothing and stuff, has been put to making their homes, covering them, bedding, things like that. So nobody looks warrior ready or fancy.
And on that nature, just for you guys, this is the first time you've ever seen Rothgar look like a barbarian, clothes completely shred and torn, with no chance of like being repaired or fixed, and dirty and angry.
I'm still trying to mend them the best I can.
It's not doing it.
Every once in a while, you're like,
Mend.
Do I know that when people die here, their souls aren't going to reach us?
Make an insight check.
20. Unnatural.
I will say you have a strong suspicion,
Okay.
and if they are not necessarily, maybe if they're killed by you, they'll go to Ijas because you have been marked by her.
Okay.
But other than that, Kyranos or Riberos has put his mark on this place.
Thank you.
And actually, to that end, I should note, make perception checks.
15.
22.
24.
21.
11.
You guys can you feel the floor, even the 11, you feel the floor re-lurch. It feels like when the deities had come storming through here, somebody hit the e-brake
Got it.
and was
Stop,
like, we should see what's going on. You get the feeling that it started to move again.
Okay.
It does not move fast, but you can kind of feel
Things are
it.
starting to kick up.
Yeah, it's starting to move again, and so that everybody with 10 or above notices that. Those of you with a 17 or above, you notice that scar, that about 2-inch scar where the crack of Riberos's whip was, has remained in place, and now the tower is moving away from it, and you can see it starting to. Looks like it's drifting, but you kind of piece together, oh, we're moving.
Where is it drifting towards?
It's so it looks like it might catch the doors.